Justin Brazeau, you probably have some balls. We know you're huge. And hey, listen, the Beard and Balls bundle from Manscaped. You might want to order one, Justin, because it's 20% off and free international shipping with the promo code DANGLE at manscaped.com. We got a trade, and it's a former Leaf developee because he wasn't actually a draft pick.
Never on an NHL contract, just with the Marlies.
Right, and he's a monster. His name is Justin Brazeau. He is now a member of the Minnesota Wild for Marat Kuznetsov and Jakob Lauko?
Jacob Lauko.
Jacob Lauko, and a 2026 sixth round pick. So this is, relatively speaking, sort of a minor deal. But Justin Brazeau is kind of nothing to sneeze at. This is a guy with 20 points this year. And again, Steve, 6'7" every time he steps on the ice.
Yeah, 6'6", 6'7", depends who you ask. 227 pounds, Adam. What do we say about that? Beef! That's why Minnesota got him. I know Bill Guerin likes that. 10 points, 10 assists. 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 points in 57 games this season, and he doesn't take a ton of penalty minutes. This is one of the tallest players in the league. Definitely one of the tallest forwards. This is one of the heaviest players in the league. Definitely one of the heaviest forwards. Minnesota gets more dangerous in that regard. There's also more potential there, like for him to get even better. He was a bit of a late bloomer, like he's 27, but the amount of NHL games he's played just isn't much. And he's gotten better and better. He was decent during their playoff run, contributed to the tying goal in Game 7 last year against the Leafs, if I remember correct. Kill me! He's still under 100 NHL games played. There's room for him to get better. The return for Boston, I think, is better than people think.
Okay. Tell me why.
They're getting distracted because you're looking for a couple things. You're looking at the 2026 sixth rounder and you go, and you're right. It doesn't deserve much of a reaction. It's a sixth rounder and it's next year. Who cares? You might hit on it. You probably don't. Jacob Lauko. Oh, that makes me feel good. He used to be on my favorite team and now he's back on my favorite team. I love that. Hooray. Marat Kuznetsov is fascinating to me because he's a 2020 second rounder.
Weird draft.
Super weird draft. 37th overall. He's only 22 years old. Why would the Wild give up a player like that? Really glad you asked. 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points in 57 games. The dude has done nothing.
So tell me how this is
nothing
good.
Offensively. Well, because it's magic beans. You're getting 3 assets for a free agent signing in Justin Brazeau,
who's 27.
Yes,
and probably is what he is.
He probably. I think there's a little bit of room to grow there. Like think of I hate to make it about the Leafs, but like think of like a Bobby McMahon. How even though he was a late bloomer at roughly the same age, he's had professional development as he's played NHL games. I think Brazeau is kind of the same guy. Boston is taking like a zero risk with Kuznetsov, and even if he turns into absolutely nothing, you get Lauko in a pick.
Jesse, I'm looking at the standings here, and I'm looking at the first round, and it sure looks like it's going to be Dallas, Minnesota. And the difference in their stats for me, the one that stands out is Dallas is a plus 53 goal differential. Minnesota is a -2. So that's a differential of 55 goals. What do you think about that matchup and how Minnesota might be preparing for it?
I worry about Minnesota. They peaked very early when everyone was healthy. And the only thing that's gone on throughout the season is Minnesota keeps getting injured. Brodin's out right now. Eriksson Ek's out right now. Kaprizov's been out forever. Like their top guys just keep going down, and I worry about their depth. So you see an acquisition like this where they bring in a big body, but they're also trading away their fourth line center. So it's like one in, one out. You're not really gaining depth there. And I don't see Minnesota amongst those top teams in the West anymore about where I saw them early December, mid-December.
If they were healthy, would you see them differently?
If they were healthy, they would be one of those top teams. And I think they'd be playing a lot better than they are right now. But the injuries just keep catching up with them and keep biting them, the injury bug. So I don't know if they can compete with the Dallas team right now, who looks to be firing on all cylinders and just keeps adding at this deadline.
It's interesting because, they did have one of the most spectacular starts, but funnily enough, the team with the most spectacular start was the Winnipeg Jets in the same division. So it kind of got hidden. And their fall off has kind of been hidden too, because again, the Jets continue to pull away. They get 90 points already. Dallas has got
insane.
Dallas has got 84, so they look amazing. It's the Minnesota Wild are a program that has had to do a lot with a lot less than every other team in this brutal cap era that they're in. Because remember, they got $15 million of dead cap on their cap for, and they've had it for 3 years. They've made the playoffs, and I believe the second round once already. They missed it last year. They're going to make it again this year. If there is a success to be had here for the Wild today beyond Justin Brazeau, and I guess for this season, is it trying to make a go of it against the Dallas Stars? Is it upgrading to beat the Dallas Stars? What do you think Bill Guerin's goal is here?
So just to correct you before Minnesota Wild fans get on you, the Minnesota Wild need to win a playoff round because they have not won a playoff round since 14-15.
Mm-hmm.
I think you said they made the second round.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
they haven't.
They're a one round and out team, kind of like the Leafs.
They haven't at all, and they've been a complete failure in the playoffs, despite having some decent-ish teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
This year, again, if you lose in the first round, you're pushing on a decade. That's a decade of making the second round. That's enough time to where you should have made the second round for a team that should be competitive. So I think they need to win, but the injuries might not allow it to happen. You're really crossing your fingers and hoping Gustafsson can do it for you.
A decade without a second round appearance. I can't imagine what that must be like, because I've done two. All right.
I'm just looking at their roster. They actually do have a ton of pending UFAs. I wonder if there's a flip in there. Like you get stronger at one position, weaker at another.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like Marcus Johansson, you just got Gus Nyquist and Justin Brazeau. That's not happening. Devin Shore, John Merrill. I don't know. Probably not. But what I'm looking for out of this deadline, not just from Minnesota, but they're a good candidate, creativity. I want to see some hockey trades, man, not just picks moving around.
Okay, so Minnesota Wild, Boston Bruins. We'll see. We'll see if the Boston Bruins continue to sell. I know Brandon Carlo's name's been out there, but
Marchand,
yeah,
also
apparently almost dealt last night, but has not happened as of yet. It's SDPN's trade deadline coverage.